Hello everybody, this is the Goofsome Fox coming at you with a new review today, and yeah, I know it's been a very long time since I've done a review for anything for a while now, so I do apologize for that. I am trying to get more of my reviews out there finally, trying to see if I can just start reviewing stuff. Some things will probably be full reviews, and some will probably be my quick looks videos. Both have their own respective playlists if you would like to check either of those out. But today we are going to be looking at the Transformers Rise of the Beast, Buzzworthy Bumblebee, Predacon Scorponok, and Sandspear. And yeah, that's one mouthful. I don't know how I'm going to fit that in the title of this video, but it will be an interesting challenge for sure. But yeah, this is a Target exclusive, as I think all Buzzworthy Bumblebee toys are. And this is for the new Rise of the Beast movie. And yeah, this is a cheap, on the cheaper side of figures, I think $15. So yeah, nothing of Studio Series quality, but still looked like a pretty interesting figure, so I decided to pick him up and see what he was all about. So, as always, I'm going to start by looking at the packaging here, and as you can see, it is that more open packaging, really nothing protecting the figure. Here are the instructions here, and to be honest, you probably won't really need the instructions for any of these guys, because Sandspear here is only 4 steps, while Scorponok himself is like 7 steps, and it's a very easy transformation. I'll just get that out of the way. Very easy transformation, so nothing that you'll have to worry about. For the packaging here, we got, Bumblebee up in front there, as this is, Buzzworthy Bumblebee. We have a picture of Scorponok here in his Scorpion mode. On the side here, we actually have a very cool-looking piece of artwork of Scorponok here. It's a shame that he's actually so small on this, because this picture actually does look really cool. Side here, we got Optimus Prime. On the back here, we have our product shots. There's Sandspear there, and this is for the Beast Alliance line. And there's Sandspear in both of his, modes. He's got a sword mode, so he's a bit more like a weaponizer, I guess, even though yeah, you'll see the sword mode when we get to it. But yeah, there's Scorponok here in his robot, and another shot there in his Scorpion mode. And the bottom here, just our usual barcode and warnings. And nothing really going on in here, just kind of a very simple box. And yeah, that's kind of everything we have here for the box. I wouldn't say it's worth keeping, so we can say goodbye to that. So, starting off with the aesthetics here for our figure, we're going to start with Sandspear, because, he is just much smaller. As you can see, he's primarily a brown with some gray and silver. You do have some coloring there for the eyes. Aside from that, though, he is a pretty simple metal robot scorpion. Pretty hollow underneath. Not really too much to say about this guy. He's just kind of an extra little thrown in there. But it is cool, though, that they did throw in another smaller, scorpion minion. Because I think, for, toys like this, where, you have, 2 figures, and they're, kind of similar, similar modes. It is a pretty nice, deal to have. Looking at Scorponok himself here, I'm going to start here at the head, and the head was actually the first thing that caught my attention when I saw him, because, as you can see, it's a very interesting and cool head design. He almost looks like he's wearing, a pair of shades, but he's got, little, specks, or, imprint on the right one here, which is a very interesting choice. I actually do like it. It looks like that's actually, his mouth right there underneath, and then he has, a big silver metal chin. He's got these silver antennas up here on the side. Back is very hollow. In fact, the majority back of this figure, if it will focus properly, majority of the back of this figure is pretty hollow, which is to be expected with toys like this. But for the front part of it, the front is actually a very nice color blend we got going on here. The chest has some molded rough detailing in there. You got the the Predacon logo right there in green. And it is actually pretty nicely printed in there too. The arms here, you got... My camera does not want to focus today on this guy. We got some nice green here going on for the shoulders. Some green breakup, the usual. Pretty much we got the usual Scorponok colors going on here. The arms here, they are majority kind of like a... they kind of look a bit more brownish, like maybe brownish with like maybe a hint of like a pink in there. And they do kind of go into silver here for the arms. That's supposed to be like the scorpion claws there. For the most part, yeah, this is kind of most of the figure. You do have some green down here, which is very nicely done. And the way it just kind of goes over, changes color. I'm going to bring the leg out here a bit so we can see it a bit more. You got your insect legs here. Again, kind of like a almost two-tone going on as it kind of like goes into another color, which is, again, very nice for this figure. I'm actually kind of surprised with the aesthetic because like it seems like they actually did put some effort into painting him, like actually like giving him some nice colors. So the colors actually do really look nice on this guy. Again, the back is just hollow. Hollow. I guess speaking of that, you got some nice coloring going on for what would be the scorpion head there. Hollow. Well, that's less hollow because they have to put the legs in there, but hollow, which makes him also a very light figure. But he isn't flimsy though. That's a good thing. He's hollow, but he ain't flimsy. And yeah, I think overall, I mean, he does look pretty good, like on his own. He actually does look like a pretty decent figure, which is again very surprising given his price range. But yeah, I think aesthetically he's actually pretty alright. Now we're going to move on to the accessories here, and as you saw earlier, Sandspear here, he does turn into the sword mode, so I will be transforming him for this segment. He'll probably be back in scorpion mode after this is done, but before we go into him, let's look at the main accessory here, or at least what I think is the main accessory. We got a kind of like an axe-like weapon here, and this is part of Scorponok's transformation. This forms his scorpion tail, and you have your peg right there, and that's pretty much it. Pretty simple, You got your peg, you just shove it in there, although it is a bit tight. The pegs on this guy are a bit tight, so you might have to like swivel it in there a bit. But yeah, aside from that, you got a pretty basic choppy axe weapon there. Very nice. Now for Sandspear here, what you gotta do for him is that you come underneath, you get this little handle piece, and you want to pull that out. I'm going to move you to the side because the camera's going to want to focus on you, and I don't want it to focus on you. Scorponok's trying to be the center of attention here. You want to put the tail like this, so it's like just stuck out, and then you get the arms, and you just put them up like that, and that is his sword mode. Unfortunately, the legs don't fold in. If the legs folded in a bit, it probably would look a bit better, but, yeah, kind of the same deal. You simply get this. Okay, that's gonna be weird. Get this, you kind of gotta swivel it in there, kind of with some force. Not too much force, obviously, because you don't want to accidentally break it, but, yeah. Then you got a scorpion sword. Again, I feel like the Sandspear here turning into a sword is probably like the weakest like thing here. He's much better just as a basic scorpion. But the axe weapon is actually really cool looking because, well, this does belong to Scorponok here. Again, it forms his tail, so it does color match him. And again, actually has some nice coloring going on here with like the mix of like that green and silver. So it is obviously the much better accessory compared to Sandspear. I keep wanting to call him Sandbar for some reason, but no, Sandspear. In his sword mode. Yeah, we're just gonna You also gotta be careful when taking them off, because you might accidentally unattach the handle here, because it is just on, it's just kind of in there. It wouldn't be really that hard to detach that piece, but, yeah, and then that's just very simple, just putting that back to that. Yeah, like I said, he ain't gonna be in that mode for way too long, but, yeah, I mean, I think for the one accessory he does come with, I do think the axe is pretty cool. Again, it does match his design very well. Very nice looking weapon. I don't think he probably needs anything else, really. I mean, I don't know if they would give him a blaster. He probably doesn't really need one. I think the axe would be enough, but, yeah, limited accessories, but pretty expected just for this figure. Now we're going to take a look at the articulation here. And, as, usual, we're going to start with, Sandspear here. Now, the arms are on ball joints, so you can move them any direction that it allows you to. You can actually put them underneath like that. So, yeah, those are pretty simple, like, ball joints there. Kind of give you all that range of motion. Legs do not move in either way, but, the tail can move back that far, forward that far. The tip can go in and can move it up to here for the sword transformation. And yeah, pretty much very simple, just movement going on for Sandspear there. Scorponok's kind of the same. He has some pretty simple joints, but he does have the benefit of having ball joints for his limbs. That is going to help him a lot in this. The head can do a full 360. No up or down or anything, just rotates. For the waist, actually, there is no waist on this guy. I don't know why I thought there was a waist on this guy. There's actually no waist swivel, so nothing for the waist, so no waist movement there. For your shoulders, these can go in and out, these shoulder pauldrons. Arms are also on a ball joint, so you can get whatever movement you can. Looks like you can get this far, although you can just do the full rotation there. This back piece here moves, that's for the transformation as well. The arm goes a 90 degrees, and you can 360 that as well. Nothing else really going on for the arms there. Legs here, again, everything's on ball joints, so looks like you have a spread of that much. Leg can kick up that far, and can go back this far. Now the knees, so the knees here, when you first bend them, they look like they can only go, I'm going to bring this out for a bit, they look like they can only go to 90, but there is a second transformation hinge in here, and that lets you get a really nice bend. So you do have some extra leg bend articulation there, which is very, very, very nice. Just leave it to transformation joints to give you those unexpected posing abilities. Unfortunately, though, you don't have anything for the feet here. They are just in place, molded in. The legs can move in and out, which is good if you need to get them out of the way, or they're really supposed to be back like this most of the time, but if you do need to move them out of the way for a pose, like as you saw there, to bend it in, you can do that. So, very nice there. And yeah, I think that's like everything that this guy has. Again, very basic movement, very basic joints. The legs are pretty cool that they do have that extra bend thanks to the transformation joint. Probably not intentional on Hasbro's part, but hey, it's still a pretty neat extra of this guy. And well, Sandspear, yeah, he's not a brick, but he's definitely, or they, I don't know what Sandspear really is. I think Sandspear is just a scorpion drone, but yeah, Sandspear just kind of has that very basic add-on figure articulation. So nothing too special for him, but Scorponok, well, he's got that leg movement. Now, for Scorponok's transformation, again, very simple transformation. I've already shown off Sandspear, so I won't be doing his again for this part, but Also, we're going to need that, so let me not forget his accessory, but what you want to do here is that you want to get the back piece, snap that into place, and there you go, you already got a good half of the scorpion there. You want to fold these parts in, and you want to bring them up in front. You want him to raise his hands in the air like he just don't care. Then you want to bring these out. You want to attach these together, like so. I recommend probably just bending the legs first at that transformation joint, just so it'd be a bit easier to kind of line everything up. Actually, I'm going to separate these first and then do the bend. There we go, plug these back in, and you just gotta get that in. Make sure you bring the legs all the way out when you do this. There you go, put that in. This is a lot harder to do on camera than it is to not do it on camera. Okay, so plug that in. And I'm trying to make sure I get it in. There we go. So you want to plug that in like so. And, well, you are almost complete. You have pretty much the basic base of the scorpion here. And all you want to do now is you want to get this here. You want to make sure it's facing this way with the smaller tip in the front. And you want to make sure you bend it to where more like the mass is on this side, because that's going to let you bend. Then you take this to where it's this way. You know, bend it like that. And then you just plug it into this little slot right here. And there you go. You have your scorpion mode. So, taking a look at the scorpion mode here. The first thing is it is very, very low to the ground. So, that is something that's a bit, maybe a bit be off about this guy. He is very low to the ground, just the way he's designed. But, for the most part, it's a pretty alright Scorpion mode, I would say. It's probably not the strongest Scorpion mode out there, as it does have some pretty weird kind of like proportions the way it's designed. Like as you see here, you got the whole feet just sticking at the back, and then you just have the whole hands instead of really the claws. They tried to make this like the claws, but yeah, you can really see that the hand is still there. The legs there to the side. Pretty good overall. The tail, yeah, tail's kind of just sticking up. Again, I mean, you know, it's a cheaper figure. Really shouldn't be expecting the most, you know, highest quality thing here, but it is still pretty well, I would say, detailed overall. The scorpion head here, if I can zoom in enough. It's pretty detailed. You actually got some like detailing up in the top there, like some internal mechanisms, which is pretty neat. You got 4 eyes, kind of similar to the similar to our little friend Sandspear here, and that's kind of like seems like that's the overall deal. It's like Scorponok here is a very big Sandspear, although Sandspear here does have some actual claws, if it will focus. Focus. No? Okay, apparently you want to focus on Scorponok again. There we go. And yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. That's the Scorpion mode, pretty much. I do I do apologize if there is any noise interference in the background. It started raining over here, so might hear some of that. I hope not, but, you know, if it is, hopefully it's not too bad. But, yeah, that's about it for the Scorpion mode there. And for some size comparisons, I have Legacy Wildrider. I'm actually going to put him, I'm going to put you here. Put you here. So I'm going to put Wildrider here. And then we have Roadhauler. And as you can see, Scorponok himself is actually pretty decently sized. Although it is him being a bit more wide than anything. He is a pretty wide figure with the legs at the side. But still it's kind of a good scale, so keeps him in line with most figures. So I'd say scaling for the most part is pretty alright. And for the Scorpion mode overall, it's a Scorpion. It will do most of the things you need a Scorpion to do. You got your moving arms. You actually should point that out too. He still has that good arm articulation, so there are still some very nice benefits. And now for some size comparisons. Here are Scorponok and Sandspear next to Legacy Wild Rider, and the Velocitron Road Hauler. And then here they are next to some basic Gundam kits here. Here he is next to the, put you over here, next to the high grade Jim Custom, whose vernier just decided to come off. And then here he is next to the Goof. You were expecting a Zaku cannon, weren't you? So, what are my final thoughts on Transformers Rise of the Beast, Beast Alliance, Scorponok, and Sandspear? I would say they're pretty alright overall. For these types of figures, you kind of know that you're not going to get really anything like, say, Legacy or Studio Series when it comes to the figures like this. So, he is a pretty nice, I'd say, cheaper option, though, because, he does have some pretty nice sculpting and coloring, and, his, Scorpion mode is pretty alright. It's pretty passable for what it is, aside from the fact that his feet give him rabbit ears in this mode, but he does come with a second little Scorpion as well, and a pretty good accessory, which I'd say is actually another big benefit, too, that he does come with the smaller Sandspear here, because given that this guy is $15, you could probably buy a few of these and army build if you desire, as, just have an army of Scorpion Transformers, so there is another benefit to that. So I would say I would recommend him, but it is a case of, I'd say, just kind of know that don't expect anything really, big from this guy. He's a pretty simple Transformer, uses all ball joints for most of his, actually I think for all of his joints, minus the head. I think everything is pretty much a ball joint on this guy, so kind of just, if you do get this guy, just kind of know what you're to expect with him. He's not going to be some mind-blowing figure. He's a cool one, but nothing really too special. But I think that's going to do it for this review. Don't have too much else to say about him. I'd say, yeah, I would recommend him. Again, just final emphasis. Just know if you get him, know what you're getting. And that's what I'm going to say about this guy. But that's going to do it for this review here. Comment down below what you think about this pair of Scorpions here. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the review. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.